openings that they have. Public safety doesn't, the dining hall doesn't, and the library doesn't. And those are probably the three largest employers, simply because they have so many students. A lot of times, once they're here and they've just established their major, students can get some really cool career-related experience through a professor, through a department. Looks good on the resume, whether they're looking when they graduate to go right into the workforce or they're looking to maybe go into a graduate program. So there's a lot of nice opportunities. But again, like I said, they get the paycheck, it's their money, it's a few less calls home to you going, you know what, people are starting to complain, I need laundry money, Mom, you gotta send more money. It kind of alleviates that, but it doesn't pay the bill. You can't subtract that. So you don't see that in the estimated award letter, okay? If you're looking at other award letters from other schools, sometimes you see it there, sometimes you don't. We still say, no, that's an individual decision, and I don't want to put an award out there unless I can guarantee you a job. Students typically are walking around campus and applying, in person themselves for these positions. The other item that I would want to mention to you, the federal government says, okay, and the state government, here's this money, here are these sources of income that we can give your son or daughter support, not really income, while he or she's enrolled. The expectation is, however, that there is a certain level of satisfactory academic progress being met. In other words, it's free money or it's a loan, but the expectation is we're not giving this to you and then finding out that you didn't go to class and you didn't pass any credits. There are repercussions if you drop a class. You might, as a freshman, have a couple 8 o'clock classes and you're like, Mom, this is killing me. I can't do it. Even if I get up, I can't understand. I have to drop this class. And maybe that is the best decision. But it's always a good idea to check with financial aid, even though you don't think of it as a financial ramification. But suddenly, if you were initially going to earn 24 or 30 credit hours and you had to drop a couple classes, you may be in a situation now where the financial aid for the following fall is in jeopardy. And we want to talk to you up front before the student makes those kinds of decisions. The expectation at Clarion is a 2.0 overall grade point average, cumulative, okay, each year, we always check in May. And it's the expectation that the student is earning and successfully passing at least 67% of all of the coursework they've ever attempted. So if you start off by dropping a class every semester, even though you've got all A's, ironically, you could end up in trouble by your sophomore year. So it's just something to think about. Don't like to spend a whole lot of time on that. I'm sure your children will not be any of the ones affected, but I just like to throw it out there when I have the parents with me, just to give you an idea. Okay, I've talked at you quite a bit. Do you guys have any questions for me? Anything that you want to ask for the general good? Oh, yes, I was like, I get at least one question, so thank you.
The phone number.
Yes, oh, sure, yeah. The phone number to reach our office, the Student Financial Services Office, is 814-393-2315. You're welcome. Yes? Okay. She had two questions. The first one is, can I still send a check to make a payment? And the answer is yes, no problem. We send the check to our office and we will apply it to the account. The second question was, well, if they get a work-study job, how will I know it if it's not in the estimated award letter? It will actually be in the electronic award notification, which if we are notified by Human Resources when your son or daughter finds a job, because there's paperwork that he has to fill out, and he has to he gets that paperwork through his employer. Say it's the rec center, and they want to hire him. They're going to give the student forms to fill out. Once he fills out his part, the rec center office will fill out, the department that's doing the hiring fills out their section, and then they forward it to HR. HR notifies our office, and we put that award into the financial aid package. Every time we add or change anything in a financial aid award package, the student gets an email. That email basically says something has changed. It's a generic email that goes out to the university email address of the student. It doesn't there tell you what's changed. It just says, please log into and it gives them a link. They're My Clarion Student Center. Look at your financial aid award for the 15-16 award year because something's changed. And when he would log in there, he'd see the work study and the maximum amount that he was authorized to earn. So they are updated. It's just that we don't put it in an estimated award letter because typically we don't have any incoming freshmen in March or April that have already been approved, gone through the HR cycle, and are actually online because they don't usually start working until the fall, until the end of August. Does that help answer your question?
So they don't find out until they apply.
Correct. We are driven by the student finding the job. Once he or she identifies a job position, they apply, they're hired, that's what starts the process, then it flows back up to our office. Yes? Yes?
As freshmen for next year, when should they start applying for a job?
Okay, she's saying in the next year, you're talking about like when they'd be a sophomore,
No.
for this year. Start checking with Career Services. I would go online to their website. You go to clarion.edu. You can click on or search for Career Services. The students can set up, as early as this summer, a user ID and a login, and then they can get those postings of any office that is looking for a student, and there's off-campus employers as well. It's not just Clarion campus employers. Anybody that has notified Career Services that they have a position they want to hire a Clarion University student, it shows up in there. And it would give them phone number information. I always like to throw that out to freshmen because it's not like they're already on campus. You can't just go, oh, I saw this was open, so I'm going to trot over to the rec center or the library or whatever. You can't do that as easily. The other thing I usually encourage is when you come to the orientation programs, take the time, if you're interested, talk to someone in the library, talk to someone in the dining list to say, hey, he or she's interested. Do you have a wait list? Can we get her on it? Because they hire lots of students and they don't typically advertise. Okay? Any other questions? Yes, let me do, and I'll do one more, and they're going to drag me off. I'm sorry. No, the $100 deposit unfortunately is not refundable. So that is the only risk that you run here. Her question was, if we pay the $100 deposit so we can get started with the get accepted, go ahead, do the deposit, or accepted, do the deposit, go to orientation. Do I get my $100 back if we don't come to Clarion? The answer was no. Do one last question. Okay. EFC, expected family contribution. It's that totally artificial number that comes up when you fill out your FAFSA. We use it, every college uses it to determine if you have need or no need. If you ended up paying that, it should become your lucky number. From now on, lottery tickets, use that number. SEOG is Supplemental Educational Opportunity Grant. I wouldn't even worry about it. SEOG is recognized by every school in the country. Okay? All right, guys. Again, FAFSA completion workshop at